with a question there. And I realize you can also set an answer that the system is going to mark automatically. But what I'm not able to do is to tell where this quiz is in the platform, in this platform here. But in a new window, I can see the quiz, but when I try to search it here, I seem not to get it. Like I said, I'm still trying to negotiate with the platform. I know practice makes perfect, so I'm still trying to practice on it. But I also realize if you go to this place here, the Meet Now, you can either be able to meet now or schedule a meeting. So if you try to meet now,
looks like we lost your share.
Oh, is it? Let me
Yes.
try to go back. Oh yeah, I think it had gone. What about now?
It's okay.
Yes, so I was trying to say that there's a button for Meet Now. I'm trying to remove this. Let's see. How do I remove this? Oh, okay. At this point, yes, I was trying to explain how I got the Meet Now button. We can either meet now or schedule a meeting. I think at this point, then you can be able to either do what? You can either be able to share your screen with the students. For example, that way, the program, you can be able to share with them and take them through. Then to exit the tray, you come back here and close the tray. Then you can guide your students on how they raise their hands, on how they're able to chat. Then
that one is for hiding or showing the participants.
Okay, now yes, hiding or showing the participants and then closing the call.
Yes.
Hanging up. What else did I see? What else did I see? Yeah, those are some of the things I've been able to negotiate through. If am I still on share or I've exited? Okay, we can be able to hang up. Let me see. That is much I've been able to do, but I'm keen to continue negotiating on this platform to be able to understand it more.
That's very good, Gerald.
Thank you, Tim.
And
yes, thank you very much.
From the checklist, Gerard, that was very good presentation.
Yes.
I can see you are able to do the A, the starting a new chat, where
Yes.
you join a class. That one I've given a tick.
Mm-hmm.
The class team, you open a channel and a class team.
Yes.
You are able to have a class notebook. You are able to open an assignment. Yes. You are able to share a file. Yeah. I did see you start a discussion with the class.
Yeah, those are some of the things I'm trying to negotiate through.
Yes, you scheduled a meeting. I saw you start a meeting now.
Yes.
Did you invite the individuals to a meeting?
Yeah, that is another part.
Okay.
I really need to be guided on the invitations.
Yes, invitation of the meeting and a channel. Then I saw you hold a meeting, that is Meet Now.
Yes.
You navigated on the meeting check, that is, I saw you, did you speak? Share a video?
Oh, not yet. Not
But
yet.
I
But I
saw
was
you
able to
navigate.
share the notes. Yeah.
But I was able to see you navigate on those icons there for participants, the share content, the mute of other participants. That is where you mute. There is another one for admitting people from the lobby.
Oh, so, that one also I'll need guidance.
Did you record anything? No.
Oh, not yet.
Not yet. Then there was the changing of the laws from the meeting attendee to
also
presenter.
Not yet on that one.
But you are able to see the staff notebook. So initially you are able to do much. That is commendable. With practice, you'll be able to do that. Class, any other criticism you are able to check? Anybody who was able to note anything else which I was not able to note? You share, we learn from each other.
I think maybe can comment. The teacher has done well, and the fact that he thought it wise to consider a team as a class, then under the class you put subjects. So that is the kind of thinking we want to encourage, so that it will be easier for you to manage your students. That is all.
Anyone else? Gechoke Mishoke, we are back to you now. Gechoke, are you there? Anyone else who is ready to show us what you did?
Remember, it doesn't matter how much you know, we are all learning. If you know one or two things, please let us know what you know so that we can be able to help one another. Thank you.
We are waiting for another participant as we wait for Geshoke. Geshoke, are you back?
I'm back.
Yes, we are waiting for your presentation.
How do I, okay, I created a team.
Yes.
And how do I now present my work from a team to this platform? How do I present my work from this platform, or do I minimize it?
No, just share, and then you will just show us your screen.
How do I share?
On your Zoom.
On my Zoom.
At the bottom there is a share, where you see chat, participants, chat, share. You're using a computer?
I can see chat or share. Okay, share. Then?
Yeah. Then just share a section.
Okay.
You click on what you want to share. You can see the various windows that you have opened.
Yeah.
Then you say share, or okay, share.
I don't know whether I can see several windows there.
We can see something.
You can see something.
You can see something.
Yes.
Yes.
Can you see my team, DICT class?
Yeah, we can see division 2.
Oh yeah, division 2. I'm trying to get the interface now so that I can navigate for you.
Okay.
How do I go about it? I got meeting options. I'm stuck here.
Murangeri, John, mute your microphone.
Yes. I'm trying
mute
to
your
get
microphone. Okay.
I'm trying to get to the interface where I can share which has the activity.
Okay,
and the
it's
light.
okay. It's okay. Just go at the top there. Go to office.com.
Where? Up here.
Apple. Click and type office.com.
Office.com, eh?
Yes.
I enter.
Yes. So you'll be required to sign in.
Okay. Let me sign in. I'm already there.
You're signed in?
Not yet, but I can now see my interface. Can you see my interface?
Okay, we have not seen the inside of.
I have seen my interface where I have my team DICT class.
Oh, it is not showing on this side. Maybe you can wait a little.
Yeah, this is the interface I'm talking about.
Just a little. Just a little. Maybe you can share again. You stop sharing and then you share again. You can see a red button at the top.
Yeah.
Telling you stop share.
Then I share again.
Yeah, again.
That one. You can see it now?
Yes, we can see it
now.
now.
We are there.
I'm getting.
Maina, John.
Sorry.
Yeshoke, continue now. We can see your screen.
Now I can sign in. Can I sign in afresh?
Yeah, you can continue now. You can continue illustrating.
Okay. Okay. You can see now. This is it's getting lost.
So we can see your team.
You can see my team.
Yes, DICT 019J.
Yeah, that's the team I created.
Okay.
And I can be able to manage the team. So I come here to this button. I realize there are several ways of managing teams, but one way was I could click on there where I could add channel. You can hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Continue.
And where I can, I did not add a subject, but I have learned today in the morning that I can add some. Okay, I did not add any channel in this class, but at this time I can add. Maybe I can add a subject by the name Computer Applications 2. Then here I am supposed to give the description, or rather, I can have the initials up there, but the description down here. So here I can have it as computer CA2, but down here I can have it as computer application 2. Then I can have everybody invited or private, where I could add. So I was also able to send you a meeting where I could go back to the activity. Sorry, I could go to the activity. where I could come up there where we have two buttons. We have that through down arrow, stage a meeting. Then I have the meeting interface. Maybe I want to add a title of the first topic, introduction. To financial applications. Then down here, where I could add the individuals, alternatively by adding their email. When I write a character or few character, I could see a list of already registered members, and I could add somebody like maybe Sivachi, who is my colleague at Mishuk TTI. And then I could continue. But I also realized down here, instead of adding individuals, I could add a full channel, or a full team. Like now the training of trainers. I could pick like DICT. Then up at the center here, I schedule the meeting. Maybe the meeting will be for today, from maybe from 10 to 10:30. So I also realize there are other buttons where you can have the meeting to repeat itself daily, or maybe just once. But now that we are getting to do our training to our students, it will be daily. It won't be daily really, but it will be weekly, because your lessons could be planned maybe Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. But for now, I just picked does not repeat. Then I could click send. The only problem which I did not maybe get an answer is that how did I know that having sent the invitation or the schedule of the meeting to my invitee, how do I know they receive it, and how do they join? Maybe Madam One can tell us. Hello? 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 You can hear me? You can hear me?
Yes, yes, okay, we can hear you.
Now, that's the fire event.
Mm-hmm.
That's the fire event. I'm still running. But I have posed a question to Madam Muhani Igesha. She said, I'm now having invited my class to having scheduled a meeting and having sent the invitation to my class. How do I know that they receive, and how do they join the meeting? Thank you. That's the fire event. That's the fire event.
Yes, Samuel.
Yeah, that's the fire event, but there are some questions which I was unable to answer.
Yes.
Having made a schedule for my meeting.
Yes.
And having sent the invitation to the class.
Yes.
How does the class or the individual student access that invitation, and how do they join?
Fine. Now that the students are part of your team,
yeah,
they will always be checking their app, the team's app. Most likely it will be on their phone.
Okay.
So they will get notification through email, and maybe just a push notification on their phone.
And that notification, they have to mark, or they have to accept the notification?
They just need to follow the link and join the meeting when it starts, if it is a video conference.
Okay. Another question I was asking myself.
Yes.
Now, Bona Orina, Sasa, now when you go to the institutional level,
yes,
are we going to acquire the team's account, or how it will be?
Yeah, so that is what we said yesterday.
Yeah.
that your institution needs to enroll to Google Teams for Education. Just the same way. Which is your institution?
TTI.
UKTTI. I think yesterday afternoon there are some people we discussed, and they are now on Teams.
Yeah.
And now they have their own account, so they don't need to depend on Meru National Polytechnic.
No. Okay.
So who is your ICT person?
Is Mr. Gibson Moduri. He will be attending for his class on Monday.
Okay, maybe he will pick up from there. We'll tell, but he can contact me so that at least you start. You have your own teams.
Okay. When you have that account for Misuki TTI,
yes.
The team will be classes, all the classes.
Yeah, every time you have a new class, you just create a team.
Then it will mean we shall have so many teams, eh?
Yes.
Under that account.
Yes.
Thank you. Then I will ask with him. Then we shall contact you.
Okay.
But there's this part while in a meeting, that area of like now speaking and sharing video. That number E. That one myself I will need clarification. I will need to get further training on that.
Okay.
E and
okay.
F.
Anne has recorded.
Yeah.
Anne has recorded that, and we'll be able to tackle it.
Yeah.
Yes.
E to G.
Okay.
Right now, before I leave,
yes.
We are using now your account, the Meru National Poly.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So when you go to actualize, then we shall need our account ourselves.
Yeah. You will use your account, and it is free. It is not. You don't pay anything.
Oh, it's free.
Yes.
So the college will not be paying anything.
No.
Okay. Thank you.
Mr. Gishoke, I noted the challenges you had were almost similar to Gerard's. So what I would propose is that we go on with the presentation. Anybody who is ready, so that we are able to take that. Then as we finalize the presentation, we will handle the challenges, like inviting individuals, but inviting individuals, Mr. Orina has already answered that. Gerard, are you able to follow that? Gerard, are you in or you have left?
I mean, I was able to follow Anne.
Okay, so we are together. I would propose somebody else to present, then we see the challenges we went through, then we'll be able
Madam Annie.
Okay.
Manager Madam Annie. Now
Yes.
that it's as if right now we are using both Zoom and Team, because we are holding the meeting in Zoom platform.
Yes.
But I have shared something from Teams.
Yes.
So when we go to actualize this training, it will mean are we going to be using Zoom or Team, which will be?
To actualize the training. When you're training your trainers or the trainees, the students.
The trainee now, eh?
Yes.
Because right now I have seen I had prepared something in Microsoft Teams, but I have shared in a platform of Zoom.
We are encouraging you to use Microsoft. That is why we are.
Maybe Anne. You see the way we are using Zoom right now, it is paid for.
Yeah.
That is number one. Number two, you cannot create the groups of students. You cannot put them together so that you can manage them. You cannot put assignments.
Okay.
You cannot use so many things. It is just video conferencing. But for Teams, you can even collaborate using some Word document or a form or any other tool that you have there.
I've seen it's comprehensive. Then,
so
another question before I leave.
Yes.
Before I give another person a chance, how many students can you have the forum in Microsoft at a time? And again, for how long? Can you say your 2 hours lesson?
Okay, for Teams, a team is 600. So if you have created a team, you have 600 people, and you can always start a video conference for the 600. Yeah, and it lasts forever. You can even stay there for the whole day.
And you have said it's not payable. The college is not paid.
You don't pay anything.
So the issue is only the bundles, the internet.
Yes.
Thank you, Bwana Orina.
Hello, anybody else from the participant? I can see now many people have joined us.
But
We are waiting.
I want to come back. There was also issue with the Microsoft Office 2013 of how to download it and how to how can you get maybe you can give us the software itself, or you have to download.
Okay, what you can do, can you share your PowerPoint, the one that you have currently in your computer?
Not now, not really now.
Okay,
I have not installed Microsoft Office 2013 right now.
Which one do you have? Samuel, which one is on your computer at the moment?
Microsoft 2010.
2010. I don't know whether there is a record button somewhere, but if it is not there, of course, you need to upgrade to at least 2013. Yes.
So are you going to test it? When you go to download, it will be a free software. It won't be.
That one is supposed to be bought.
Yeah.
But now the way you are the ones that you have, you acquire the same way.
Okay, the same.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Anyone else from other institutions to present? Meru County, nobody has presented. Tharaka County. Don't fear to present. We want to see how far you went so that we can be able to critique and learn from each other, help each other, so that we will be good to go by the end of the session today.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes, Anne, are you getting me?
Yes, I'm getting you. Who is this?
Oh, this is Dennis from
Okay.
Cohort.
Okay, Dennis.
So maybe I can do what I managed to do. I can present what I managed to do yesterday.
Yes.
Let me share the screen. Okay. So can you see my screen from the other end? Hello?
Hello, we are there.
Hello, we can see your screen.
We can see.
Okay, thank you. So I managed to create a team, which is here. I called it DICT Module 1. And in that team, I was able to do some management of the team. I added a few members in the team, but before even the members, I also created some channels here, which were actually the units that are offered in that module. I think it is taking long to load because of the internet connection.
Don't worry, we shall wait.
Okay, this seems to take long. Okay, so that is it. Then I gave I also created after creating the channels and adding some members. I also started a chat because part of the assignment is we were to do some chat. And when I started a chat, I was prompted that I must prompt someone to start the chat. And from the students or the team members in this channel, one of my members was Dennis Mutuir. So I wrote a message that tells the person to kick off a discussion on emerging trends in mobile phones and PC operating systems. This is the channel for operating systems under the team that I created. And I don't know whether he was able, I don't know whether Dennis is in, and whether he can from his end begin the conversation. So I was able to create a chat. That's one of the things I was able to do. And then going back to the team again, remember one of the tasks that we were given was also to create a notebook. We were to create a class notebook. And so under this channel, that was a chat. Just a minute. Yeah, let me see whether you can view the notes that I prepared. It was just a dummy note. Okay, sorry for that. I created a notebook on this channel. I don't know, it's not visible, but can you see any note from your end?
Yeah.
Hello?
Not yet.
Are you getting me?
Yes, we are hearing you.
Not visible.
But you are not able to see the notes.
Files. Like it not upload, or it is a different subject, maybe operating systems.
Yeah, no, it is this one. I created actually a note on this subject, not on operating systems.
Or a notebook.
I don't know whether it collapsed, but I created one and I was able to view it using the OneNote.
Back to the team. Go back to the team. General under general. Yeah, class notebook. Just wait for it to load. It takes time sometimes. Is it on files?
It seems it has finished the loading, but
Yeah, so
what
I think we need to continue navigating the teams more.
yeah,
the
I
note,
created
the
it
OneNote.
here, but maybe I can demonstrate what I did. I just opened OneNote. Yeah, this is it. Actually, it is here. This is the one that I created. I don't know why it is not visible on the other end. Maybe Anne and Rina, you can help us know where
click
we
on
are
Teams
supposed to
there.
get it.
Under that OneNote.
On Teams, eh? Yes.
On the at the center at the top, there is a tab, Teams.
Yes.
To assign a specific team.
Okay, yeah, so this is it. Thank you. I think this is the one that this is the one that you created.
Yeah, so now you need to, there's somewhere you're supposed to assign. This is personal. The where it is appearing, it is under your personal. So you are the only one who can see it.
So how do I get it now to the Teams?
Maybe you can edit.
But on your side, can you see the notebooks that I created?
Areas in CM.
Yes. Yeah, so that's what I created. But then now, how do I assign it to the particular channel?
Maybe now you go to the, can you go back to Teams to see whether you can be able to assign it from there?
Let's see.
Open the note in a note.
In?
Open, okay, go to the app, the OneNote app. Open it. Yes, we're supposed to edit. We cannot see everything from this side.
You cannot see even the text that is under that, eh?
The text we can see.
Yeah.
Can you check on about?
Yes, it is. That's what it's showing.
It's just a description.
Yeah.
Maybe we will get back to you in a while.
Okay, so maybe that is what I did on the creating of the notebook. I created the team. I was able to manage, and under the management, I was able to give the roles to the team members. Some were owners, some were like I can say students in the team under management. So I think that's what I was able to do, and maybe I continue exploring more to see what should happen. Maybe I think I can pause at that point. And the other challenge I also had, which I wanted maybe the presenters to clarify today, is whether it is possible to do a video class with this team, and how do we go about it with the team members. As in, suppose we have the learners, they are already enrolled, and you want to do a video presentation using this. So maybe someone doing the presentation can tackle that, because at times you need to have a video presentation in the class. Thank you.
Maybe towards the end of this presentation, we can try to you initiate a video conference and you share for us a link. We join our students.
Okay.
Saying.
Then what? Yes, I'm getting you.
You can put us in a team here. In this team, you can just search any of us. Then you make a call. As in, where you see calls is where you start the video conference.
Oh, this is where you start. Okay, thank you. And then one more thing, how do we integrate this Microsoft Team plugin in the Moodle platform? Okay, or there's no need of integrating it there?
You can integrate so that you can be able to schedule your video conference classes from Moodle.
Maybe someone will tackle that, so now it is done.
Okay, and you are noting that?
Yes, I'm noting, Mr. Orina.
Yeah, I think I can pause and hand over to to earn. Thank you.
Thank you, Dennis Karumo. That was a good presentation. I have noted the challenges. We are going to tackle them after the presentation. Anyone else who is lady? Yes?
Can I come back with two questions?
Yes, Samuel.
I have two more questions. One, maybe you can also note that how can we enroll the student in the platform? Okay, right now we could see a list with our names and emails. How after we set up the institutional account, how do we enroll the students? And again, another thing which we may request is that you can give us a brief guidelines which we shall share with our students, indicating how they will access and log in the platform and use the platform. A guideline or a kind of an induction on how the student will log in, access and navigate in the platform. Maybe you can share with us later. Thank you.
Okay, and you have also can also note that we also need to come up with like a short training on about the students, on the student access.
And
Okay,
how to
I've
enroll.
noted.
How to enroll or register members, so that when you go to create a team and you want to add members, you get a pull down list of members. How do you enroll them in that list? Thank you.
Yes, noted. Another presenter we are waiting. Madhu Macharia?
Yes.
You want to present? We see you getting ready to
To me, just a minute.
Okay.
Hello.
Yes.
Yes, I'm Madhu Macharia from Madhya TVC, and this is what we were able to accomplish. I was able to create a team. This is the CI for CICT Module 1. This is the class. We were also able to add a channel, that is the basic electronics class. For this basic electronic class, again, sorry about that. So the first thing, we were able to manage the team, whereby I could be able to add the members. Now we have a list of members whereby we could have the owners. These are maybe most of the trainers that I could be able to add, and also the members and guests who are our students. The next thing is that I was able to add this channel, basic electronics, whereby I could be able to share notes and upload the files. You can see that under the posts tab, we have the various notes that I've shared. For example, we have the electronic components. So I was able to create a small document for the presentation. Then we were also able to upload a PDF file whereby you can be able to share maybe the various components for demonstration purposes. Yeah, so these are the various files that I was able to upload. And you can see that we have those topics, those various topics. You can be able to close that. Then I was able to create a note about resistance. Again, it is not good because I was using the mouse. I understand that it could work well in a situation whereby you have a stylus and a tablet. Then I was able to give an assignment. And the good thing is that you can choose the class, then click next. And then just yeah, I don't know what's happening, but if you can look at these particular posts, you are able to give an assignment and you can view the assignment that had been given. I don't know, somebody can assist and tell me what maybe the error is. Mr. Makori.
No assignments for this class yet. You see,
Yeah.
You need to see on the left-hand side,
Yes.
under CICT 2020 Module 1, you are going to General. See, that's where you are seeing the assignment.
Oh, no, it's under this basic electronics class. That's where the assignment is.
So where are you looking for it? It goes back to General.
General?
That is the problem.
Oh, okay.
So Ebu go to basic electronics and then you check. Do you have a tab for assignments at the top?
Yeah. Sorry?
At the top, do you have a tab for assignments?
No, not there.
So I think maybe we need to redo that and see where the problem comes in from.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bwana Orina.
Yes.
Hello? That is
Hello.
the same problem I had, eh?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, so I think there's an issue there. It's the same problem I had. You set a quiz, but later you
Yes.
can't find it unless you open in a new tab.
Okay, can you try to create a new one, we see?
Okay, let's see. I don't know.
Go to Teams, go to Teams, go to the team, and you see
Okay.
assignments. Assignments. You add, is there a button for adding? Maybe you can right click. Right click on the dots on basic electronics.
On these ones.
Manage, where is it? I think we need to retackle that part of assignment again.
Yes.
Maybe we can plan another short training, even if it is 30 minutes or so. We'll be able to communicate, especially for the champions group. We want it to
Yes.
be the best so that they can be guiding the others. So for now, we can skip it. We can just go to something else.
So I believe we are going to leave it at that for now for the assignments. Then the next things is about the charts. You can be able to create a chart. You can either, for example, I had this particular chart here that I put to some of the students. So these are the students, maybe find the attached assignment. Find the attached assignment. Then from there, you can be able to schedule a meeting. You can either click on this tab to schedule a new meeting. You can say, for example, introduction to electronic components. So you can either add the required attendees, or you can either choose the channel that you would want. Under this particular channel, you can choose the specific unit. For example, you want the CACT module 1, the basic electronics. Then you can add the details for the meeting. Then from there, you can schedule your meeting to be maybe, for example, tomorrow, September 12th from 10:30 a.m. to maybe 11 a.m. or maybe for the 2 hours. Then from there, you can send this particular assignment. And once you send it, it will appear at the calendar there. If maybe you want to have a meeting right away, you can click meet now. So from meet now, after that, you can click on join so that you can join. You can activate the camera plus the microphone. Just wait for it to connect. I don't know, Mr. Orina, or maybe someone else to give me the address, maybe the contact, your contact. We try and see.
Okay, maybe you can just type Orina.
Okay.
It'll appear there.
The first one, or?
I think the second one. Yeah, you can add both.
Okay.
I can hear some requests. Let me connect.
Okay.
Or it is yours.
Benson on Koba.
Yes, I can see.
Okay, there we go. Maybe if one might want to perform more actions, you can share maybe a PowerPoint presentation. I can choose maybe my desktop. Let's say we want to share that. You can decide to share the team's expectations. If maybe we can, don't know whether you can be able to see it.
I can see you.
Okay.
Yes, I can
So,
see. Navigate Microsoft to understand.
okay, so we can stop sharing. So then from there, you can also be able to add the participants, be able to change their roles. So if maybe you come at this particular tab, you can manage the permissions. On the various
Can you guys hear him?
Yes, but he needs to be a little bit louder, just a little bit louder.
You can't hear.
And unmute your Zoom. Unmute your Zoom.
I can't hear.
So you can hear me?
Yes, yes.
Yes. So that is all about the meetings. Then if you want to maybe end the lesson, you can just hang up. You can also train students how to raise their hand, how to use the chat conversation. If you want to chat to anybody in the group, to everyone, or to a specific person, you can also be able to see who are your various participants. So if you want to end the meeting, you just click hang up. And, you can leave the meeting automatically. So yeah, that is all about my presentation. I know I might have left maybe something out, but with this new technology, I believe we are still moving on well, and we have a lot to learn and also to get used to it. Thank you. Back to you.
Wow, that was a good presentation, Madhu. I want to receive criticism. Were you able to follow, members? Anything you noted that you may want to comment about?
I just want to commend on Cover because of the very excellent presentation, and I think he has answered some of the questions that were being asked to Mr. Orina. Thank you very much, Mr. Cover.
Thank you.
Any other comment?
So kindly, again today, you sign up, the form is there. I can see Samuel still, does it mean all the trainers and trainees will be using emails based on the institutional domains? The answer is yes. If then the trainees guideline on how to set up, we have said we are going to provide that. Good.
If there is no comment, I want to give the last
And we have lost you.
Sorry for that. I'm saying if there is no comment about Onkoba's presentation, that was very good. We want to give another one. And I wanted to see whether we can be able to cover county. We have covered Meru County. We have seen somebody from Nyeri County. We have seen Muranga County, Tharaka Nithi, Embu, Kirinyaga, somebody.
Isiolo, Marsabit, Samburu.
Laikipia, there's Nyandaro in the house. Don't fear to present what you have. We are running. We want to see and help you. We can get 2 presenters, then we break. Then we come back and finish. A small break.
So Anne, looks like people are still learning, and of course they say that the illiterate of the 21st century are those who cannot unlearn, learn and relearn, or learn and learn and relearn. So maybe we can break and maybe 10 minutes, then we come back and do something with Google, and then we just call it training. We end the training for this group. In case there is anything more we need to present, we'll always invite you to train you, to show you, or just to highlight to you so that you can be able to now do more research on the same. Anne?
Yes. So members,
And you are getting lost.
I'm saying we break for 10 minutes. It's now 10:27. We'll be here by at greatest 10:40. So that we wind up. We go on to the next session.
So meanwhile, for the 10 minutes, you can submit your details so that we don't leave you out.
to go through how to set an assignment using Microsoft Teams and how to review the student submissions. So I'm going to begin inside Microsoft Teams. I've got a class here, and inside Microsoft Teams we've got a conversation tab which can be turned on or off for your students. We've got Files tab where we can store some information inside a SharePoint library. We've got Class Notebook, a great powerful learning tool which we went over in a previous blog post, which I'll put a link on the site to. And we've got the Assignment tab, and that's what we're going to focus on today. We're going to focus on creating assignments inside Microsoft Teams. So I'm going to create a new assignment here. So to do that, I'm going to go to the New Assignment button. If you wanted to switch this from a sort of a horizontal to a vertical timeline, we can do that using the button here. That'll just change it to a different timeline view. I prefer this view. It gives a nice view of the week and what lessons you've got that week. So I'm going to create a new assignment. This is an English class, so I'm going to make an assignment about of mice and men. Essay and worksheet. So this is a title I'm filling in here. A great feature that's been added to the assignment functionality is the ability to assign it to more than one team. So if you've got another class you wanted to assign it to, you can assign it to multiple classes of the attached. So I've got a choice of uploading a file from my OneDrive, my own personal, to my OneDrive, and then worksheet. So that's going to be completed by out of 100 points. So once I've done that, I can either save it as a draft and carry on working on this assignment later, or I can assign it to the group. And as soon as you press assign, then the students are going to get a notification on their Teams desktop app and on their mobile apps as well. So if students are using the mobile apps, that's fantastic. They'll get that instant notification and that engagement with the student. So I'm going to assign this to my class now. It will appear in my timeline for next week, and I can see that so far no pupils have or students have submitted work back to me in regards to this assignment. I can see assignments notifications popped up there as well.
Hello, I think our 10 minutes are off. And can you hear me?
Yes, I can, Orina. I mean.
Good. So we want to introduce to you some other facilities now provided by Google, and most of them you can use them using your normal Gmail account, although with the limitations. Okay, maybe what you have never known is that from your Gmail account, you have several facilities that you can also use to do various things. And it is also powerful, especially when you don't have servers within your station and you want to store a lot of information, videos, etc., etc. So we are going to introduce you to Google for Education, which you configure in a similar way, like the Microsoft Teams, and you can be able to use the various facilities. Now, so we are going to look at, of course, the emails, institutional emails, where you can be able to access them through Gmail. So you'll be given a .ac.ke email that you can be able to log in through Gmail. You just go to gmail.com, you put your address, just the same way we went to office.com and we had a Microsoft Office linked email. Then we are going to look at Google Drive and what you can do with Google Drive for your institution. And it gives you up to 100 GB per user. Then we have Google Meet. It is a video conferencing facility, just like Zoom. We have forms. Forms are the ones that we can use to do admissions. We can be able to configure them and use them to do an online course applications. Now, Sheets captures what comes from forms. So once somebody fills a form, the information is aggregated in Sheets. Then you also have Docs. You can be able to configure in a way that once somebody has put information on the form, a copy of the same information is sent to them, like a document or a PDF. And then we have various add-ons that you can utilize to make your experience better, more than what Google gives you. So I want to also to share my Gmail. Anytime you want to use a Google facility, the first thing is you have to log in. So as you can see, this is my email and I've logged in. If you look at the bottom here, you can see I've used 14.73 GB of 15 GB. So that is the commercial email, the one that you just say something at gmail.com. Now this storage is keeping my photos that are on my phone, maybe. It is keeping my emails, these ones you see here. It is keeping, it's also keeping several other things, videos on YouTube. All those things are linked to my Gmail account, and the space have been allocated 15 GB, and that is what I can be able to use. So then again, I'm going to show you the one for the institution so that you see the difference. Fine, so if you look at this one and I scroll down, so I don't know whether you can be able to see at the bottom here. Can you see that?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, you see, I've already used 119.11. Now, as an admin, I don't have a limitation of the amount of storage I can use. So I can use as much as I want. So far you can see I've already used 119 GB, and that one is storing videos, it is storing everything that I require in Google. A YouTube channel, my drive, I can show you. This is Google Drive. This is Google Drive. This is where your data is coming, and everything that I need. So it is like my computer, whereby I can be able to create folders, and I can be able to upload information. So institutional photos, student applications, everything. So you can be able to see that that is a facility that you have. So which other facilities do we have associated with my Gmail account? So if I go to the right hand side, I don't know whether you are seeing or your Zoom is blocking. On the right hand side at the top, you can see some dots, about 9 of them. So if I click there, I have my account, I have Gmail as one of the apps, Drive, Docs, Sheets, Slides, Calendar, Charts, Meet. This is the one for video conferencing. Currents, Sites. You can create a simple website. Contacts. When you save your contacts on your phone, they come here, so you can be able to access them from here. You can create groups. You can be able to access YouTube, Maps, News, Photos, Vault, Admin. So this one only appears for the administrators. Hangouts, Forms, Keep, Jamboard. There are so many. Earth, Collections, Podcast, Classroom, Cloud Print, and Smartsheet. So you can use any of these to do a number of things. And as you heard previously, there are some people who have been using Google Classroom, and we said that now they need to enroll to G Suite for Education so that they can reduce the limitation of the amount of space they have, the amount of information they can be able to upload online, and be able to use even the other facilities like YouTube. You can create a YouTube channel for your course. When you have used Office Mix to prepare lessons, you can upload them to your YouTube, and then you share the link. And now you'll be able to have to see your videos chronologically, and once you have shared the link, it will stay there forever. Now, so that is a brief introduction to G Suite for Education, and I'm sure now you have seen the difference between the normal Gmail and the G Suite for Education Gmail. Now, so the next item, you have said you are supposed to configure this. So if you just go to online, maybe we just search. There's no specific procedure, as I told you, that every day these things change. So you cannot say that you are given a specific procedure and you do it. That's why even when you go to YouTube, you find a video that is giving you a procedure. It might be outdated. You try to follow, you reach somewhere, you get lost. So every day you're supposed to be responsive so that you can be able to change with the
Orina,
current
you've
situation.
lost the screen. Oh, all right.
Okay, I'm hearing now. So I'm saying if we search G Suite Education, actually these things are paid for. Only that for education purposes you're given free. So when you're going to go for G Suite, most likely you are going to see where you're supposed to pay, and you get discouraged and you end your journey there. But that is not the case. You need to search more. So you can get started for free. You can see here. So you are on your way to transforming the way your students and faculty interact. G Suite for Education is free for eligible institution. We'll guide you through creating an account for your educational institution. Then you just say next. So you give the name of the institution, let's say Lysamis TVC. I don't know whether that's how it is written. Then you say it is higher education, you continue. You give the website. So this is where now you will get captive. If you don't have a site that is ending with .ac.ke. So let's just say Lysamis tvc.ac.ke. How many students and staff? Not a big institution, 5,000 to 10,000. You give up a number. Then you put all the details, you continue like that until you finish. Once you finish, you will be required again to validate your institution details or your website, your domain. So you'll be given some information, you go to the cPanel, you add them, and Google will be able to validate and you'll be onboarded. So sometimes they might ask you for certificates. You can scan your certificates for the institution and the TVETA certificates. And you can also, you will be able, sometimes they give you somebody to chat with. You can be able to direct them to the TVETA site. If you're listed there, they will be able to check you there and they'll be satisfied and you'll be on G Suite for education. So during this pandemic time is the best time to take advantage because they are not so strict on checking so many things because everybody wants to get on G Suite. So you can do so for your institution so that you can be able to access facilities also from G Suite. So that is for emails. Once you have configured that, maybe now the other facilities will be easy for you to use. Now, so next is Drive. So I want to introduce you to Drive. Drive is where you organize your data. For example, now if we decided that students are going to submit their documents online, even through Gmail. At the end of the day, we need to organize them somewhere in soft copy, whereby we can be able to access them when we want. So, and you can process them on your computer and they'll be synchronized to Drive automatically. So I want to share now the screen of my computer so that maybe you can be able to see. Once you install Drive, I show you where Drive is coming from. Sorry. Can see it looks like Google Meet. I mean, Zoom cannot share the whole screen. I don't know what you can see from your side. Somebody say what you can see. Somebody?
We can see what you started with, Orina.
No.
Oh, now we can see something.
Something
G
else.
Suite for education.
Okay. Now you can be able to see the whole of my computer. Now, if you look at the bottom here, I click on the right hand side. There is a button, an icon here, known as Backup and Sync from Google. I hope you can see that, and it says updated 1 hour ago. So this one is where I store my information that I consider important. So once I work on a document, even if when I'm typing it, I am saving it in a particular folder in this computer. And every time it senses a change, it synchronizes it with the cloud. So I want to double click it. And just click it like that. You can see it is showing various various folders. These folders are on my computer. At the same time, they are on the cloud, and that's why you can see they have ticks. So it means that everything has been synchronized. For example, if I change this one, for example, if I rename this one, like that, then I just click, I confirm the name. So you can see it is synchronizing. On the right hand side, the icon has changed. Now that one is already updated, and now it is a tick. So every time I add anything on my computer, it synchronizes automatically. Like now this one here, there's something that has changed. So it synchronizes automatically with the drive, which is online. So, and if I lose this computer that I have, I'll be able to just log in from another computer. I access my Google Drive, and I can be able to see my documents anytime. So that is now the importance of Google Drive, and it makes the difference with email, just email. So that facility is also available as OneDrive on Google Teams, on Microsoft Teams. But it is user-friendly when it comes to Google, and because of Android phones, Google matches well with the mobile devices. Fine. So next is Google Meet. So we have said Google Meet is a video conferencing facility. That one, it just goes straight, does not have so much. So again, I want to share the commercial one, and then later on we'll see the other one. So if I click on this, I scroll here, I can see Meet. See, things are changing every day. It's saying premium video meetings now free for everyone. So you can just on the go start a new meeting, or if you are given a link, you paste it here and you start the meeting. But now this is a Zoom link or something else. So if I just want to start a new meeting, I just click on new meeting. Then I say get.
Okay, you share, Rina, please share the other screen. Yeah.
Saying if I click on this button here on the right hand side, while I'm already logged into my Gmail, I click on Meet, it will open for me that window. So I said here, premium video meetings now free for everyone. We are engineering the service built for secure business meetings, Google Meet, to make it free and available for all. So, and I said that these things, they change every day. So you cannot be given a specific step-by-step procedure. So you need also to be dynamic and change, and also read the instructions as you see them and make a decision. So I was saying to start a new meeting immediately, just click on this button, new meeting, and then you can say get a meeting link to share to people, or start an instant meeting, or schedule in Google Calendar. So you have those three options. Say just get a link. So it creates for you a link, you just close. So once you have got the link, you paste it here, then you join, but you are the creator. So already I've started the meeting, so I join first, then I'll share the link to you. Maybe I want to post it on the group, I see who is going to join us. I'm starting my WhatsApp so that I can be able to send you the link. Mount Kenya, Kenya. Fine, so I've sent a link, and once you join, you'll be able to see, I'll be able to admit you from this side, and you'll be able to see it on Zoom. So somebody. I'm waiting. Have you seen the link? Yeah, you can see here the first person I admit. Any other person? Minus. So you can be able to admit your students in a similar way. Or we want to see where it will stop showing us those slides. Fine, I think that's a good sample. Now, so similarly, you can be able to just create a meeting on the fly and invite your students through our WhatsApp or even a text message, and you start the meeting and you start learning. Now, so as you can see here, there's a maximum number of people that you can see on this screen, and as they reach 16, you will not be able to see more. So we are going to introduce to you various add-ons that you can manipulate your Chrome browser so that it can be able to give you more than 16 people on the same screen. We are going to introduce you to that and how to add them on your Chrome browser. So Google Meet also has other extensions that have been identified so far that record attendance automatically. So I'm going to get away from this commercial email. I go to the other email so that we can be able to see more functions available from G Suite, which are not available on the commercial one. So fine, so I want to share Google Meet. Good. Share. So, fine. The same way you are going to meet using this button here. So meet. So you can see this one looks different, slightly different, but you're doing just the same thing. Then on the right hand side, it is giving us a button where we can join or start a new meeting. And you can also, if you had scheduled meetings, they can be able to appear here. So this one looks even better than the other one. So you need to go to G Suite so that you can be able to get all these functionalities. Now, so if you want to just start a new meeting, you can just give it a name, maybe Cohort 1. then just continue. So we have just created a meeting on the fly. So you can join. Then I just copy this, or you can take this pin, but no, let me just give you the link. Or I can invite you using your emails. So your Gmail emails, I can be able to add them here. Once I do that, I will invite you. Once I invite you, I will not need to admit you. If I put your email here, I will not have to invite you. I will not have to admit you. So if you have a list of students, for example, x@gmail.com, I separate that with a comma, y@gmail.com, z@gmail.com, or at mnp.ac.ke. Once I send those invitations to you, when you are going to attend this meeting, I'll not have to admit you. So when you're dealing with a very long list of students, like maybe 200 students, you can just have their emails, you copy paste there, you send the invite, so you'll not need to admit them. The option of admitting is to eliminate people who are not part of your meeting. And note that once I've invited you, you must be able to log in with the same email so that you can be able to join the meeting. Yeah, so I want to send again to this. We see when they join what happens. So I've sent a second link. And for G Suite now, you can be able to record your meetings, as you're going to see. If I click on the right hand side here, there's a button here at the top for recording the meeting, and other options that you can play around with when you are doing your practice at your institution level. So I'm waiting. So I have to admit you because I didn't invite you with email, using email. Fine. So, and I also want you to note that there is an add-on that we have put here. You can add a new class. One. So the echo that you are hearing is because so you can see Patrick Mwaro has already logged in. So you can mute him. So that is part of class management. You can be able to mute your students. So mute, this one is muted, and mute, you can mute so that they don't make noise. Yes, like that. So you can see there's an automatic class list.
I can see.
Attendance.
You can see me, that's good.
Yes, automatic attendance. So this one does not come with the Google Meet automatically. You have to put an add-on on your browser so that you can be able to capture the attendance of everybody who's coming in. Any other person? No. Change 10. So you can see the class attendance automatic. Good. So there are so many other extensions that you can add on your Chrome browser to make your work easy. So we are going to show you where the extensions are so that when you want to use them, you can use them with Google Meet. So Google Meet goes hand in hand with Chrome browser. Of course, there is also Android application for the same. So once I stop the meeting, once I end the meeting, it will automatically download an Excel sheet of these participants. So once your emails are configured correctly and the names of the students are well put with an admission number, then it will just capture them the way they are. And so we have six participants in.
Oh, they are giving a class list.
Yes. But you have said it is not automatic. We need to install some extension. So maybe we can end this meeting. Yes, automatically it has saved my class attendance. Good. Now, so the extensions. Chrome extensions, just Google Chrome extensions. So if you just click on Chrome Store, you'll be able to get several extensions. They have other things like the Zoom scheduler, Grammarly, so many others. But now specifically for Meet is maybe Grid View. So we have several, so you can try the one that will work for you. You can be able to add to Chrome or remove it. So this is the one that is already added, that this is the one that will enable me to have more than 16 people on my screen. So, and there are others. So you can see this is added. You can be able to remove it from here if I want to remove. Now, we have attendance. You can search attendance. So there are various. Whereas we have what? So you can try and see the one that works for you. So we have this. So for us, we are using Google Meet attendance. This one, that is the one you have seen. A simple way to record who attended a Google Meet session. So we have others like this one. You can be able to check, you see which other facilities are there. So there are several extensions that you can add to your Chrome to make your Google Meet experience much better. Good. Any question on Zoom? I mean on Google Meet? No question. So I've left you, once you go, you start exploring that. It is also an easy way to have a video conference online. The limitations for now for the G Suite is 250. However, Google said they're going to end it in end of September. We don't know whether they will extend it. So if they don't extend it, you'll have a limitation of 100, which is also not bad. Good.
I think, Corina, what you have not maybe mentioned is the book of classroom where they can also form classes in the book of classroom. Maybe that one, I don't know, you can take a minute or two.
Okay. Now, so as you have seen also that maybe there are some of the members here have been using Google Classroom, but still we can be able to maybe, I don't know where I'm still sharing. No. Same place, these dots here, they have everything that you need to do various things. So Classroom is here. So like now you can see I have this Classroom known as the ACT 017J Module 2. So you can create posts, you can add notes, you can add questions, etc. Then you can invite members. Really, I've not been liking Google Classroom. I don't know why. But you can explore. You can explore it. You can create several classes as you have seen. You can invite specific students. Like now this one had several students. So we tried to do this sometimes back in 2017. But now I think my students were not very nice. So they were not seeing my assignments. They used to see them late. Sometimes they post their work on the stream instead of posting at the appropriate place. So they share to everybody. So those are the challenges I faced. But it is a facility that you can also use to organize your classes. So you have a calendar. You can have even classes which have passed. The beauty maybe with classes is that you create a class, you get a code, you send to your students, the students join that code, and you proceed now there. You can give classwork, you can even use a form, you post it here, they do the homework, it can automatically mark. That is the Google form, which we are going to look at so that we can use it for admissions. Just a minute. Yeah, so you're saying that you can create a Google form, and from the Google form, you can give questions which have answers, which will automatically mark, and you post it in your classroom, and your students take the quiz and submit, and then of course it will mark itself. You can also have questions which you are going to review, and also return to them the answers. So, good. And there's a question on the chat. I don't know, maybe you can pick it. Good. So we are moving to the next item. That is the forms. Now, forms are found under Google Drive. Forms are found under Google Drive, and we said Google Drive is a good way of managing your data, your information. So I want to share again and introduce you just briefly to Google Forms. So as you can see, I am on Drive, and we got Drive from here. So we clicked on Drive, it opened this. So once it opened that, we can be able to see the left-hand side has the options. So if I click on New, I have various things I can do. I can create a new folder. I can upload a file. I can upload folder. I can create a document, an Excel sheet, a PowerPoint, form, and several others. Smartsheet, Jumbo board, apps. There are so many apps, but these are the main. So I want, for example, you wanted to do applications for September 2020. So I create a folder. I call it applications 2020. I say create. So the folder appears here. So I open the folder. So inside there's nothing. There's nothing here. So under this point, I want to create a form that is going to capture the applicant's details. So just go here. While I'm inside this folder, I go new. I say I want a Google form. So I give it a name. For example, applications, September 2020. It will automatically come here. So when I come here, I describe. I say kindly fill this application form truthfully. Just the way you give instructions on the manual form, you can just copy paste the instructions from the manual form to this one. So number one, you can say maybe ID number if they must have an ID number. Some don't have. Then you change what you expect. It is just a short answer or a number. You can validate the number before they submit. You can also give a response if somebody puts the wrong information, and then you make it compulsory, or you can avoid making it compulsory because maybe you anticipate that some of your students don't have ID numbers. Then number two, maybe telephone number or just first name, the short answer. This is compulsory. You can copy the same, then you say middle name, this one is compulsory, or it can also be optional because it is middle. Not everybody has a middle name. Then maybe last name. This one you make it compulsory. Then you can add another question as you go down. You can also have sections. So the first section is for personal data. The next section is maybe the courses applied. The next question is for the documents required. So at this point, we can just add a section. So this is section 1. This one is section 2. Section 2, you can call it maybe required files. Then you add a question. Then you say birth certificate. You can say number so that the right number. Then you can also tell them to attach. Is that somewhere you can see? Somewhere we yes.
It is just there where you under short answer. That yes.
This one.
File upload. Yeah.
File upload. Yeah, this
Yes.
one. Oh, I was forgetting. So yeah, so continue. So you give permission. So birth certificate. Birth certificate. Yeah, it is important. It's you can limit the size, or you can have it the way it is. You can specify the file type so that people don't attach maybe viruses. So you can be able to control that. So you say it is either a document or a PDF or an image. Then we add another question. You can maybe tell them now to put the birth certificate number. is required. KCP index, or just KCP certificates. Then you say it is a file they are supposed to upload. It's compulsory. And then full KCSE index is also compulsory. So you can be able to just manipulate this form. So once you have completed, or even before you complete, you get away from there, you can preview how it's going to look like on the other side. So like now it is telling me the name and photo associated with your Google account will be recorded when you upload files and submit this form. Not this one, not the creator. Because I'm logged in, that's why it is showing me that. So these are the questions. So once you fill these ones, you can be able to go next. If you don't fill, you won't be able to go next. Any required field, if it is not put, you won't be able to go to next. So you can try to put data, then you go next. So once you finish configuring your form, then you send. Under send, you can send via email, or you create a URL like the one I sent to you. You copy this and you send to your participants. Now, there are settings that affect the way your form behaves. Like now here, you can see it is restricting to users in Meru National Polytechnic. So if you don't have a Meru National Polytechnic email, then you'll not be able to access this form. So we disable because we are having it for everybody out there. So you can also limit to one response, but this one is also, you think about it first before you say limit to one response. So when you say limit to one response, somebody must sign into Gmail. You see here, you must sign into Gmail. You can also collect emails. You can allow it to send to the person who has filled the form, to receive a copy of what they have sent. Then we have this one of presentation. This is after somebody has submitted. What do they see? You can show them a link to submit another response. You can show them progress bar. You can also shuffle the question order in case it was a quiz. Then you can tell them that your application has been received successfully. For any queries, contact registrar at, so you put your email. You can also put a number if there is a number. Then you save. So in case it is an exam, you convert it to a quiz now. So when you convert it to a quiz, it becomes something else. So you can just go and maneuver around and see what this thing can give you, so that you can be able to utilize it for both application, admission, and even examination. At least assessment for quizzes, so that you can be able to grade your students the best way you know as a trainer. So that is it with the Google Forms, unless there's a question. So don't fear asking questions. It's the right time to ask.
Samuel Gishoki. Gishoki, are you there?
Fine. So after you have received your applications, if you go to responses, there is a button here for creating a spreadsheet of the responses. So like this one has 0 responses. Maybe I can just open the one that we have, the one that you yourself have been participating in. This is Mount Kenya training. So this is the form. This is the form. This is for registration. We have 15 registrants. Those who want to attend the training. This one, where is it? Training attendance. This one. So today we have a total of 88 nominees. So if I click on this link, Rangiri.
Yes, Mr. Aurino, you get. Hello.
Yes. Hello. Continue.
We are saying that we will be able to demonstrate what we have done so far at Jeremiah Nyaga Technical Institute plus our challenges so far.
Okay.
So you tell us when to go to it.
We cannot get you clearly, but maybe you can chat so that we get you well. Fine. So
I'm saying,
yes.
We would like to demonstrate what we have done so far and our challenges and the challenges we have encountered.
Sawa. Now, so you can be able to view responses if you had created a Google Sheet, and it captures the time so that you don't say I was in class that time. So it automatically captures the time, of course, the email address, official name, and all the details that are on the form. So if you come at night and submit, it will show here. This is when you access the form. So whether we've closed the form or we don't close, it will be able to tell you that this is the time that you registered. Good. So that is a Sheets, Google Sheets. And we also have docs, and then we said add-ons, and we have shown you add-ons. And I think that ends the introduction to G Suite for Education. And of course, we have also seen how to configure for your institution. And I want to believe that after this, you are going to try out and see whether you can be able to access the various facilities available on G Suite for Education. Those who have been using Google Classroom, using the commercial emails, it is high time now you migrate to G Suite for Education so that you can get more facilities. You can also upload your students to G Suite so that they have school emails, so that it is easy for you to manage them. Well, they can attend using the normal emails, but now managing them becomes a bit difficult. When they have your school emails, you can be able to add them. You can be able to make some restrictions on what they can access and when they can access it. Yeah, thank you. Now, so we have said that Zoom, we are just using Zoom as a video conferencing facility, and because at this level, like now, we cannot be able to demonstrate Google Meet as well as use it as a video conferencing facility. But going forward, some meetings we are going to have them using Google Meet. Others we are going to use Microsoft Teams. Yes. How do we create the emails for teachers and students using the institute domain, please? That is get. Maybe we'll be able to send some information on the group so that you can just follow through and be able to do that. It is easy. You just need an Excel sheet, then you just upload it. Yes. Any other question?
There was Geshoke. Geshoke, are you in?
Shuki looks like he left.
Oh, I hope he has followed on the Google form.
He's in. He's in.
Yeah, followed.
Yeah. Now your question answered.
So it has been answered.
Okay.
So watu wa ICT wachangamke in their various institutions. Now you are aware of what is available.
Just a minute.
Yes.
How can we manage attendance in Zoom, in Teams? And again, are we going to use both Team and Google Suite? Or Google Suite is more advantageous than Team on which areas? We shall need to use both.
Okay. According to the Ministry of Education, they prefer Microsoft Teams, and the reason is that with the Microsoft Teams, you are able to access even Microsoft Word online. You are able to access even very powerful tools for like doing surveys, like SurveyMonkey. I don't know whether you have come across that. So that is the only major advantage with Microsoft Teams, is that it has some more applications that you have been using. Like if it is PowerPoint, you don't need to use something new. It is the same PowerPoint that you have been using, Microsoft Word, but it's now available online. So you can easily integrate whatever you have in presentations to Microsoft Teams. They interoperate, they do what? They mix easily. But now we are introducing you to Google Meet so that you have an alternative. There's a time you realize that Google Meet might not be working on most of the students' devices or something like that, or it is taking a lot of data, so you have an option to go to. So Google G Suite, I would recommend it, especially on the forms. Yeah, to capture admissions, applications, and the like, and storage also. You can see it is quite a lot, 100 GB. It's quite a lot. Although even Microsoft Teams, they told us that you have 4 terabytes of storage per user, which is times how much? It is big. It's quite huge. So you have the facilities now. It is up to you to be able to use them. But the ministry advocates for Teams.
Okay. Now to manage the attendance for
Attendance on Teams.
Yeah,
so
on Teams.
that one we have been looking. You see, even Google G Suite, it is an add-on that you have added. So on Teams, there is also forms, just like the one that we have, but so far we don't have experience on how to use the forms in Teams. Maybe you can just try and see whether it is doing what you want it to do for you. So Kate is asking, can we use the Google Forms to do first-year admissions? Yes. It will depend on how you configure your form. You can use the form to capture all the information that you need. You can also use a video conferencing facility to even interview one by one if you can. So you can have different channels, different departments interviewing their potential students. So once you do that, you'll be able to validate that this person you are admitting is able to undertake the course. Number 2, you can now have a common orientation using, like the way we are doing. You can use Zoom, but why do you use Zoom when you have free options like Microsoft Teams and Google Meet? You can add them to Google Meet. You create for them accounts, and then of course you invite them so that it is more official. Yes.
Orina.
Yes.
This get again.
Yes.
Now, because these students, they are students whom you don't know. How do you share them Google Form? Or it's the way they come in and you send them after you get their biodata?
So for you to admit, you only admit applicants, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the applicants, you already have some information about them, including
Yeah,
contacts.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so now you can be able to use the contacts. You can even create a WhatsApp group if all of them are WhatsApp. You can send an SMS.
Oh, okay,
So
okay,
there are
okay.
various options.
But for these other general one where you need the applicant to do the applications, so that
Now,
to get their information, you use the student portal.
yeah, you can create another. You can create one form for applications,
Yeah.
another one for admissions. You know, those are two different things.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so for admissions, you can have it on WhatsApp. You can have it on your Facebook page. People just apply randomly. You can even
Yeah.
advertise and tell
Okay,
them to
yeah.
go to your site and apply.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions so that we can end the session? Good. Now, Anne, you are the moderator. I want to hand over back to you. Anne or
I'm
John?
back, yes.
Okay.
Hello.
You can help us end the meeting.
There was somebody who wanted to present. I don't know whether you have 5 minutes to listen to them or we had, because
It's
we had
okay.
viewed other.
I think we can give them opportunity to do so. We can learn something
Yeah.
new from them.
Jeremiah Nyaga, are you there? Hello, Jeremiah Nyaga.
Hello?
You wanted to present?
No, mine was a question actually.
Oh,
Yeah, the person who had sent us, he wanted to present was Asa. I can see that. I would like to make a presentation. That was Asa. It was somebody else. Mine was a
Yes,
question. Yeah, it was on still on the use of Microsoft Teams. Does it mean that if the school or the institute has not registered its own domain, as teachers we cannot move on?
no, that is why we were, okay, that is why we were introducing you to Google Meet, because we noted that some institutions are on the startup, or rather they don't have servers, they don't have domains. So we wanted to give you something to make sure that on 21st, we are authorized to teach. You cannot say that we don't have Microsoft, we don't have what, we are not going to teach. So you'll have something else to do. You can use the Google Meet as you still, from now, you as the ICT support, you're supposed now to go and initiate starting the whatever, making sure that you'll have this, yes, the Google, the Microsoft, you register for your institution and others. So in the meantime, as you wait for that process to end, you can use the Google Meet.
Thank you.
In addition, Monica,
Yes.
which institution?
The NTI.
Okay, no. Okay,
No, but I was
Jeremiah.
asking in general. I was just asking in general, yeah.
Yeah, so what we are saying is that getting a domain is not, it will not take a year. It does not take 2 weeks. It takes just a few minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the costs from around 5,000, you have enough space to have your domain, enough space to have your databases, and also enough subdomains for your institution. So there's no institution that can have an excuse of a domain. And we have also shown you how to configure, at least on the basics, how to configure Microsoft Teams and also G Suite for Education.
Yeah.
So let us champion that our institution is also in the map. We don't say that, oh, we don't have a domain, etc., etc.
Thank you.
So Esa, are you there? The
Can
person
see
who
yes,
wanted to
yes.
present.
Hello, Anne.
Yes.
Let me just inquire something.
Okay.
If an institution has a website, hello?
Hello, we
Yes.
are hearing.
If an institution has a website, I believe there is a domain where that website is residing. Can that domain be used to create the email addresses for teachers and trainers? I mean, trainers and trainees.
Okay, so what we are saying is that if you have a website, that means you
Yeah,
already have a domain.
yeah, that's what I'm asking. Can we use the same domain?
Yeah, it is the same we are using. It is the one
Oh,
that is
yeah.
required. Yes.
Yeah, I was just clarifying because of the previous question which was being asked.
Okay.
Yeah.
The ICT people, they don't have an excuse if you have a website.
Yeah.
Hello, Lina, can you hear me?
Yes.
But you will send us the
I'm having challenges with them.
John? Is it John?
Okay. Hello, I'm saying that we'd like to make a
Continue, John.
yeah, like you can see, I'm presenting a Google Form,
Yes.
and we are able.
Your network is quite poor. Your network is poor.
Hello.
Yes, yes.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Yes, yes.
We can hear you,
Hello.
but the network is not very clear.
Assignment. Hello.
Yes, John.
The assignment, it wasn't clear how we go along handling the assignment on Google or using Microsoft Teams. Hello.
Hello.
Would you kindly kind of respond to us on how we handle the assignments? After we have done our class, we have been able to to create channels. After we've been able to add members, all about assignments.
Now, why can't we have the issue of assessment on a different date so that we can tackle assessment? Yeah, assessment and evaluation. Even when we are going to again introduce Moodle. Moodle
Okay.
has even powerful tools with examining.
Okay. Thank you.
So, Kiari is asking the way forward. So the way forward is what the chairman said yesterday. 1, admission, application, orientation, and training. Now, with regards to the other trainers, we are trying to see whether we can train as much as we can, maybe starting on Monday and Tuesday. And then, but now for you as a champion, you have seen what is done. You can organize your own trainings in your institution. You don't need permission from us, you just need permission from your principal. Then you can be able to train as many as you can. So for us here, as you can see, we might not be able to give you support that is directed to you specifically. So, and much of it at this level is kind of awareness to show you. But now, once you go down there, you are going to use it. You will face a few challenges here and there. You solve the challenges. And once you solve the challenges, you'll be a better person. And now you'll be able to learn with the other trainers within your institution. So organize for trainings as soon as possible so that you are not the only person who can be able to do things in your institution. Yes.
Yes, and you can be sure the principals will be waiting for you as the champions to take this down to your staff.
To initiate
Yeah, to
things.
initiate. Any other question before we end?
Hello, how are you guys?
Yes, Claria.
You're fine.
Yeah, I'm Nashon Kiari from Kabune TTI. So thank you for answering my question on the way forward for champions. So I also had another question, and you have trained us on Microsoft Teams. And previously, most institutions had installed Moodle, and there's also the Google Classrooms. So are institutions allowed to choose a platform that they can use? Because some platforms are easier, like some teachers had already oriented themselves with Moodle, and now there is the Microsoft Teams. Do they have a way to choose, or now that the ministry has said it's Teams for everyone? And now coming to the institutions, there are institutions which had already planned for trainings on Moodle. Do we do away with those trainings and now focus on Teams? Or what's the way forward? Thank you.
It's a good question. Now, Teams, in fact, what you can do now is go to your Moodle and integrate the Teams to your Moodle so that you can be able to schedule your
Teams to Moodle.
Yes. So you can be able to initiate your classes from Moodle. So you know Moodle helps you see your notes, topic 1 to the last topic. So you can organize classes from Moodle and then you use Teams to video conference. So you cannot use Moodle to video conference. Moodle is just enables you to organize your content. Then number 2, we taught you about Office Mix, although we didn't concentrate so much. We said that now you can be able to create videos, tutorials using Office Mix. So you have a PowerPoint that you have been using to teach, but now you need to go sit in a quiet room, well lit, then go through your slides, putting a narration on your PowerPoint presentation, and then go to G Suite that we have taught you today, create a channel, upload your videos from lesson 1 to the last lesson, then put the same on Moodle, and also you can share the same on Teams. So integrate all those things so that in a seamless way, you can be able to use either of them to teach. Even at the national level, as you were told before, there is going to be Moodle as the place where we're going to keep the common content for all courses. So you cannot say we are going to leave Moodle and just go to Classroom. So Classroom is just a segment to organize a few things. Teams helps you with a number of apps that you can be able to moderate your classes in terms of delivery. But now Moodle plans your content in a structured way. And also Moodle helps you to do more complex evaluations, even mathematical evaluations, and like the others.
To add on what Mr. Arena is saying, what we know is that we are dealing with very many institutions. Some don't have Moodle, don't have websites, don't have all that. So, and we have 21st of September to start teaching. So, out of all those tools that we have introduced to you, which one can you be able to use and run to teach your students? Whichever one you use, there is no one that the ministry will tell you that this is not the one that you are going to use. So, but in the meantime, what is very important is for you to identify one of those tools and be able to use it. And as Mr. Orina has said, those tools can also, like things can be integrated in Moodle. So we have not said that you stop using the Moodle. You can, it's just an added advantage. Thank you.
Any other question or clarification that need to be done?
Share attendance.
Good. No, so for me,
yes.
So in case we have challenges, how can we contact you?
We have the WhatsApp group.
Yeah, we are not.
Hello, we are not going to end that WhatsApp group. So you can still contact us there. You can still get our numbers and call us directly. In case you want us to come to your institution and help, you can always get in touch.
Yeah.
Then if we find there is a challenge that we need to handle all of us as a class of champions, we will organize, Mr. Orina, we will organize, then we can do it the way we are doing it now.
Okay,
so we will be there for the support.
I'm not in that group, listen.
And you are part of us?
Yes, so you're not.
Mr. Orina?
It's okay. There are some people who gave numbers which are not on WhatsApp.
Okay.
Yes.
But mine, it's on WhatsApp, Orina.
Okay, we will submit to who else is from your institution?
Murangeri.
Maybe you will be able to submit your number there.
I appreciate.
Okay. Then maybe for startup, as you go back to your institution, we would advise you to go and try to cascade this down so that by 21st you will have staffs who will be there. You can start with this video conferencing as we go on, because Moodle will be phase 2. We will still come back to it. But those who have already installed Moodle and have started on it, don't leave it there. So I would, at this point, I would want one of the participants who was the trainee to give a vote of thank, a volunteer. Then we end with a word of prayer if there is no other comment or questions to attend to.
Yes, I have a question.
Yes. Yes, we can hear you.
I have a question.
Okay. Go ahead.
There's an institution like where we don't have students. So what are you going to do about it?
You don't have students, any?
Yes, not even one.
Yeah, so that's why you have been taught on application. So you need to market your institution, pass on the application form, you see whether people will respond, post it on several Facebook groups. You'll be able to get response, you call the students, talk to them, and start. Is that okay? And next time you rename yourself, you are called Infinix Hot 5. So take initiative, assist the principal to get students. You know, an institution without students, you will get bored. You will not be able to like it. But when you have students, you have so many challenges to solve. You'll be busy. You'll be even enjoying your life. The way we are doing it with the 10,000 students and a class of 200.
So somebody to give vote of thanks. Then Naomi will lead with a word of prayer. Naomi Maina.
Hello.
Hello, Josephine.
Hello.
Hello, Josephine, you can hear you?
Yes, my name is Josephine Karaoke from Madeira Technical. I request to give a vote of thanks for this team. First and foremost, I would like to thank our chairman, Mr. Anderson Mutembei, for the humble guidance and hard work to make sure that we, as the champions of ODEL, are together and up and running so that we make sure that we're able to begin training by 21st. Secondly, I would like to thank the ABLE team that has our trainers who have taken us through the session very successfully and with so much vigor and energy. We'd like to thank Mr. Orina from Meru National Polytechnic. You have really enlightened us and you've given us a lot of information. Actually, we have more than we need so that we can make sure that this online training is at hand. And let me say thank you so much because you're always available to guide and to direct and to help. Kindly receive our thanks from this group. Madam Ann Gecha, thank you so much also for your guidance, administration, and much of the content that you've given us, very helpful. And we are sure that as we implement this program, we are going to be in good hands. And as you said, you are available, and that is very important because I'm sure we're going to be getting some good challenges here and there. But noting that you are available for us, that is an affront, and we are so grateful for that. Mr. John Miner from Nyeri National Polytechnic, thank you so much for your presentation, for the content that you shared. We are so much grateful, and I believe we have learned a lot as trainees of this training, and we promise that we are going to be up to task to make sure that ODEL is up and running in our institution. My fellow trainees, thank you so much for your cooperation and enthusiasm in this training. I know it has not been easy, but you have kept on keeping on, and may we have that energy to continue to deliver this program within our institutions. And I know we are going to have a lot of challenges, but we said change is inevitable, and if we cannot move with change, then we are going to be left hanging. So therefore, let us embrace this. Let us transmit it down to our able trainers in our institution, and I believe that we champion with passion, then we are going to win this battle. And finally, we thank God for the strength, for the health, for the energy, and for the guidance that He has, and even for the energy that He's given unto us. Thank you so much, and God bless. Thank you.
Thank you, Justin.
Thank you very much, Justin. Naomi?
Hello?
Hello, we can hear you.
Okay, let us pray. Mighty God, King of Kings, we come before you this morning, King of Glory. We say thank you for the session that you've had, Lord Jehovah. In the beginning, we asked you to be with us, and you have made it successful, Lord Jehovah. May honor and glory be back unto you. And as we go to implement all in everything that we shall do, and in all, we pray that your will be done. And it is in Jesus' name I pray and believe. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Thank you, Naomi. I am going to take back the mic to Mr. Orina as the chair to do the other part as we conclude this class. And we are assuring you that as the champion or as the national committee, the three of us, we are mandated to making sure that Mount Kenya moves on. And we want to read in Kenya, so that whenever we go for those national meetings, Mount Kenya will be reading. So far we are reading and we don't want to be the last. So help us move this forward so that we are able, in case you have any challenge as an institution and you require somebody to come there physically, we are there to make sure that this is done and done well. Thank you. Mr. Orina?
Good. So what we are going to do, we are going to leave you in this meeting so that you can just have your own discussion, a free discussion. You can ask each other questions, you can share. So we are not going to end the meeting. We'll just leave you so that you leave at your own leisure. And you are free now to interact with your colleagues from all the institutions. Ni vizuri kujuana because mnaweza kutana kwa njia, you are classmates in this training but you don't know each other because it is online. So be free to interact. You ask each other questions, you share experiences, you encourage each other. Yesterday, I think 2 institutions or 3 were able to onboard to Microsoft Teams, and it is easy. Maybe they can also share the experience to those who have not already done, and it will not take forever to start it. So both Google G Suite for Education is free, and Google Teams is free also. And you see, the government is also focusing on the free things because sometimes you might spend a lot of money thinking it is better, but then it is just stalled there. Be asking yourself, why did you purchase this? So there are some people also who are installing Moodle on their subdomains. So don't go to the paid version, the cloud version where it tells you that you have 45 days to use it for free, and then you start paying. Just install on your subdomains. And that is also something that you can be able to share with each other. You can see Dennis Mba is an expert in this and is in the meeting. Even Nation, I know is an expert. So kindly share with each other to secure our choyo so that we know that our region is the one that is leading. So sometimes when we meet, we find people from coast, western, they are still struggling to know how to install Voodoo. I don't know why. It's not like they didn't go to school. They went to school, but maybe selfishness or something like that. We want all institutions in Mount Kenya to move at the same pace. So from me to you, thank you for attending the meeting. When we call you again, maybe for a short training, attend. We'll be planning short training so that we learn one thing at a time, so that it is easy to implement. Because when you learn so many things, you fail even to know where to start from. So some other times we'll be planning meetings where we just ask questions, we share experiences, and that way we'll be able to make our e-learning better than the rest. So thank you so much and goodbye.